everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tunnel Vision. I'm your host, Ryan Abraham, joined alongside Connor Morrissette here in studio. And we got us remotely, Jarrett Kingston, USC offensive lineman, is joining us. Thanks to House of Victory for setting this one up. You can follow him on Twitter at jkingston52. Of course, that's his number for the Trojans. Moved out there to the right tackle spot. Coming down. Well, Jarrett, thanks so much for coming on, man. How you doing?
Yeah, of course. Good. Doing good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Better lighting than Eric Gentry already. Love it, Connor. We got to do this. That's good. The offensive linemen are smart. You guys are smarter than the other guys, right? It's just you figure this stuff out.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why we play offensive line.
Nice. Well, before we jump into everything, I did want to thank House of Victory for setting these up. I don't know how many we've done. Maybe like 10 or 12 of these so far, but it's been a lot of fun. I think the players have a good time, kind of just a more informal environment than after a practice or a game, chatting a little bit. So hopefully, Jarrett, you have a good time with this too. And I think the fans have really enjoyed it, just kind of getting a little more behind the scenes and just kind of getting a feel for what you're like as a person, outside of being the football player that they root for on Saturday. So this is all kind of new in the whole NIL world. Like, House of Victory has been an integral part of helping a lot of you guys get family to games and everything. Like, how's kind of House of Victory been helping you out so far this season?
Yeah, it's been great. I think NIL overall has been great for so many different people. I think like you said, like helping family get to all the games has been one of the biggest things. I'm from California, but I'm from way up north in California, so it still is difficult for even my family to get here. So I know it helps people that are from different states have their families come to these games. So it's definitely nice.
Jarrett, it's been a whirlwind year for you at USC. Some right guard, right tackle. Has this been what you expected so far, your 1 year at USC?
No, I thought I was coming in to play guard, but I can play any position, really. Whatever position helps the offensive line and our team the most. I know that I can play any position, so it doesn't really have any effect on me. I just need to make sure that I'm doing the best job that I can for our team.
What was that, recent position switch, like I guess a couple of weeks ago, moving from guard out to right tackle? It seemed to pay dividends. The offensive line looked like you guys as a group played better. Yeah. How comfortable has that been, and how do you feel that move's worked for you and for the overall offensive line?
Yeah, no, I think it's been a good thing. Our coach is just trying different things, different ways to get our job done. So I think that him knowing that I played left tackle last year at the previous school that I was at, he knew that I could come out and play right tackle and do well there. So
you played left guard 2 years ago at Washington State, left tackle, like you said, last year, and now you're playing on the right side. I don't think too many offensive linemen make 4 changes in college, maybe 1 or 2, but 4 is a lot. How have you been allowed, what's allowed you to be so versatile and be able to play all over the field?
I think that just athleticism and a strength thing comes into it, because I know I'm strong enough to play inside, and I know I'm athletic enough to play outside. So I think just those 2 things are the biggest things where I could play both positions. And then I feel like that I've been playing football for so long now that I know the game pretty well. I'm still learning it and everything, but I think that I've played it so long now that I know the different ins and outs of each position that I have been playing. So
the versatility, I know, there's been some offensive linemen that have come through USC, in recent years. And one of the, when you're looking at the NFL draft or everything, when you've played in, different spots and moved around a little bit, it seems like that's an asset. Is that something that coaches have talked to you about? Like, hey, when you're in the NFL, there's 8 offensive linemen and one guy gets hurt and everybody's moving. The versatility thing, is that something that people have talked to you about? Yeah, if you can do this, it's going to help you down the road.
Yeah, no, exactly. The more positions you can play in the next league, the better your chances are even making it on a team. I know that some NFL scouts have talked to me about asking me if I could play center, because I'm 6'4", but I don't have super long arms. So I know that probably going to be an interior player at the next level. So I mean, just the versatility thing is huge.
That's funny that they bring up center. I know you've said to us in the past you have a little experience at center, I think, but that's the one spot you really haven't played in college. So fill me in on what, if you were like in a position to play anywhere on the offensive line, maybe would it be center because that gives you the best chance to make an NFL team? Would you want to be a guard? Like, just what's your favorite position or the position you think will give you the best chance to play at the next level?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I for our team, we have such a good center, so I couldn't say center. I mean, if we didn't have as good of a center as we did in Justin Dudich, I think that I would say center, just because like I can communicate pretty well. I know the different ins and outs of the defense, but I would probably say guard just because I know that I'm probably not going to be a tackle in the league.
We're watching football. I mean, we're usually watching the ball, like the offensive line. Like it's where things are happening.
Yeah.
And when there's guys moving around, I don't think most of us understand sort of like what it takes to go from right guard to right tackle or go from the left side to the right side. Like what is it like trying to left-handed versus right-handed? Like how do you equate like maybe moving from one side of the line to the other and then maybe from like inside to outside? Like, what are the differences that you need to kind of be able to overcome, I guess, when you're moving positions like that?
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty big difference. I know, like my sophomore year, I switched from right tackle to left guard. So switching sides and positions was kind of messed with me a little bit at first because I never really played the left side before in college, and it's definitely different. But playing tackle compared to guard, like tackle pass pro, you have so much more space. You're going against guys that are faster, get off the ball better. And at guard, you're going against 315, 320-pound guys that just bull rush you the whole time. So definitely playing guard, you have to use more, I think, of your strength, like weight room strength. And then at tackle, you have to use more of your athleticism against those kind of guys.
What's it been like trying to fit in with an offensive line that is really new? You're not the only guy from the transfer portal. Emmanuel Pregnon, of course, Michael Tarquin, Jonah and Justin were here last year. Who's sort of helped you fit in? What's it been like fitting in? Take me through what's it like as a first-year guy in this team.
Oh yeah, it's been great. I couldn't think of better guys to come into an offensive line with. I mean, yeah, Justin, he was my host on my official visit, so I got a great relationship with him right off the bat, and it was great. And then Jonah, just learning off Jonah, like what it's like here, what I need to do coming in here, and just forming those relationships with those guys have been awesome.
You played the Pac-12, obviously, up in the Palouse, Washington State. You guys had a road game last weekend against Cal, 99 points scored. I mean, pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know, like you've been part of some crazy games. Like where does that one rank as far as like kind of nutty games with the protest before the game and the halftime kick, like right before the third quarter, all that kind of stuff that was going on. And of course, 99 points scored.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely ranks up there. I mean, I've had some crazy games in my 6 years of playing, but I think that it's definitely top 5. There was a lot of distractions going on with that game. It was crazy.
How do you manage those distractions? That's got to be tough. I imagine like you're so hyped up, you're ready for kickoff, and then you see these people are on the field. Like if I was in your shoes, I'd be like, oh, like I get really angry. I'm ready to play. We can't play right now. Yeah. What was going through your mind when that happened, and how do you manage distractions in football?
Yeah. At first, I was just kind of annoyed, like, come on, let's get on with the game. But I just cleared my head and I went over on the side and started doing like drills and staying warm, and just clearing my head. Just whenever I need to go. So.
Yeah, you guys get a routine, right? And if that's, it was, I guess, a 7-minute delay.
Yeah.
But did it impact people? Like, there's like, hey, if it's like a starting pitcher, like they throw them this many warm-up pitches, whatever, before they come out there, and then sort of the whole routine gets thrown off.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't have a routine, so I didn't really get thrown off. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I just cleared my head and went over to the side and started doing more drills. I mean, I just got more warmed up. I mean, I was already warm, but I went over and did more warm up. So
with Josh Henson Jarrett, we as people in the media love speaking with him because he always tells it to us how it is. He keeps it real. He says stuff that's on his mind. What's it like being coached by a guy like that who's always truthful and always just kind of tells it how it is? What's that like?
it's nice. It's definitely nice. I mean, me being in my 6th year and I think he's my 5th offensive line coach now. Just having a guy that, I mean, first of all, he's a genius. He's an offensive line genius. So learning so many different things from him has been awesome. And then just, he just tells you what's on his mind, which is awesome too. There's no like beating around the bush with him. He just tells you straight up, and that's what I appreciate about him probably the most.
USC's over the years. I mean, I talked to Zach Banner, graduated a few years back, and I think he had 5 offensive line coaches in 5 years, or it was 5 and 4, or something crazy like that. Is there like, I mean, like you said, maybe there's some advantages where you get to learn different techniques from different guys, but I mean, it's got to be tough too, with different terminology, different, I guess, coaching practices. I mean, it's got to be some challenging there to have that many different coaches.
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs with it. I mean, I get to learn so many different techniques, but then again, there's so many different techniques that I have to learn and different schemes and different like calls and everything because every single coach that I've had has different calls and different techniques. So, but I mean, like one of my previous coaches said, it just widens my toolbox. So all the different tools that I get to use, it just opens that even more.
What's been the message from the coaching staff this week? I think I saw Brendan Rice tweet out something along the lines of crazy things happen when you count people out. It seems like the team is rallying together ahead of a huge opportunity. What have the coaches told you this week?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just like stay together as a team and continue to fight. I mean, I think we showed last week that we have it in us to fight when we need to and have those like nutsy wins. So I think just continue to fight and continue to come together as a team has been the biggest thing.
It's going to be a tough schedule, right? Like number 5, Washington, on the road, number 6, Oregon, home against number 19, UCLA. But obviously, first game, one game at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But you got Washington coming in to the Coliseum, undefeated. I mean, what's it kind of been like around campus and practice and everything, knowing that there's this huge test coming into the Coliseum with Michael Penix and all those guys?
Yeah, I don't think we look at it like that. I mean, look at like a team that's they're like this. I mean, any team's unbeatable, or any team is beatable. So I don't think really things have been much different. I think practices has been the same intensity as week 1. I mean, we're the same every single week. I mean, I think it's our what am I thinking of? Yeah, I don't know. It's
just your fight, maybe? Like
Yeah, I think that.
What have you seen from Washington on film, and what do they do well that you're going to have to counter?
I mean, they have some pretty big guys up front. So I mean, playing at right tackle, I'm going to have to really make sure that I keep the pocket wide. They have some bigger guys. They have a guy that's like 270 on the end. So make sure like pass pro, keep the pocket wide for Caleb. Make sure you can step up in the pocket, and then running game, just make as big as holes as you can, drive them off the ball. So
you mentioned the running game, and it seemed like, for the first time in a while, they guys kind of got things going, stuck with it. 26 carries for the running back, 17 for Marshawn Lloyd. He ended up getting over 100 yards there. I felt like you guys tried to run the ball against Notre Dame more. It just wasn't, I guess, maybe as effective. But this was one where the run game was working and kind of stuck with it. How's that feel for like an offensive lineman? Where, I mean, it's great to block for Caleb Williams, but like just being able to run the ball and kind of attack somebody. That's something that you enjoy.
Oh yeah, I freaking love running the ball. I mean, it also helps our pass blocking too. I mean, when we can run the ball, like linebackers, get sucked in, and then we could throw it behind them, and definitely helps our pass pro too. So.
Jarrett, Lincoln Riley and some guys on the team have talked about maybe the outside noise seeping into the locker room a little bit, and that's hard to not have happen when you start the year number 5 in the country. Just expectations are so high, and people have really high opinions. What's that been like when people have a lot of things to say about you guys, and no matter how things are going, good or bad, you kind of got to channel that out? How challenging is that, and what's your experience been like with so many people talking about USC football this year?
I mean, it's pretty difficult to block it out. I mean, I think like being on social media is probably the hardest thing. I try not to be on social media at all during season, really, and just personally, I just try to block it out as best as I can. I mean, there's always going to be something seeping in, but just try to block it out as best you can, and keep the mission, like the focus of our mission, the mission. So.
Yeah, has the focus changed at all? Lose a couple games, get the one against Cal, and now, like we said, there's some tough games ahead. Has the message changed or the focus kind of changed at all, or is it still kind of like sticking to the plan, knowing that you guys are still second place in the Pac-12, and if you win out, you're gonna go to the conference championship game?
Yeah, nope, the mission's still the same. It's been the same since as long as I've been here. Pac-12 championship has been on our minds the whole entire time. Winning as many games as we can. So.
Jarrett, coming from Anderson, California, you mentioned pretty far up there in Northern California. What did you do for fun being from there? I don't know much about that region. Talk to me about what your experience was like growing up there.
Yeah, so I say it's more of like the country part of California. So I grew up fishing, riding quads, hunting, all that. So a lot of outdoor stuff. I grew up on a little bit of sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I grew up on a little bit of like property, so it was nice going out and doing things.
You might not have an opportunity down here, but there's you can go. I love going over to Catalina. Like there's you probably like that. But have you got to do any kind of fishing or anything local, or not really yet?
A little bit. Me and Justin have went a couple times. Not too successful, but it's a little different fishing down here than where I'm from.
Okay, yeah. Papa Didich, he likes going. We exchange stuff like on Instagram usually when I go deep sea fishing, and he catch some tuna or something. That's really fun.
Yeah,
I love doing that stuff.
My family goes to Cabo, and we go ocean fishing all the time. And I used to go out of San Diego on like 3-day ocean fishing boats. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that Cabo's great. They have like some of the best swordfish fishing.
Yeah.
Marlin fishing down there, which is awesome. And I didn't realize like Lincoln Riley goes on a trip every year. And,
him and Henson were actually down there at the same time I was down there, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I think Dennis Simmons did. Like he caught the big tuna or something this last time. But I was talking to him about that. So I love like ocean fishing. So that's very cool. But it was funny when he was talking about it. I think it was Pac-12 Media Day. They, you kind of turn your phone off. Like they were on a boat, like out in the ocean for like a few days. So like, I think they got maybe Taka Curtis committed or something while that was going on. I can't remember, or something like that. But you kind of remove yourself from everything, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Jarrett, the last thing for me before we get to a few fan questions, if that's all right. I remember in your Washington State picture, the hair is down to, your shoulders. You used to have the long hair. Why did you cut it? And will we ever see the long hair with you again?
Probably not. Yeah, I grew it out for like 4 years and then cut it off and then grew it out again for a couple of years. But it just kept on getting pulled, kept on getting like rat's nests from my helmet in the back here. And it was just too much to deal with. So that's why I cut it off.
Yeah, I know.
I do miss it though. It was cool to have it, but but it was just too much. So much easier to shower with just normal hair.
Yeah. Does your wife like the shorter hair or?
So I met her with long hair, and then I cut it off like 2 months later, and she was sad. She kind of misses it, but she likes my short hair too.
Nice. Well, like Connor said on the Peristyle over at USCfootball.com, we posted that, hey, we're going to be talking to Jarrett Kingston, and so a few fans had some questions, if you wouldn't mind answering a few before we let you go. That'd be good. So we'll give their screen names. So there's some funny ones here. Student Body Right says, do you like/prefer the cross training, like learning tackle and guard approach that USC is taking?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like right now playing tackle, I'm just focusing on tackle, and when I was playing guard, I was just focusing on guard. So I think I'm not really cross training at all, but I've kind of switched my mind to playing right tackle now. So
The cross training was more in camp, right? Like you guys were doing more
yeah,
things there.
yeah,
Okay.
I was doing. I mean, I do like it. You can keep make sure that you're okay with playing both positions, which is nice.
619 Grizzly wants to know, what is your favorite food in LA?
It's funny. We get a lot of food questions from the fans on from you guys. They want to see what, especially offensive linemen. What do you guys eat? You know,
we like offensive linemen. We like the Prince Street pizza.
Oh, I like that too.
Prince Street's good, and then the place right across the road, the German sausage place. That's really good too. You have to try it. I forgot what it's called, some German name, but it's really good too.
Oh.
But there's so many good places to eat down here. I can't even name one.
That's interesting. I haven't tried the like if it's a bratwurst place or something.
Yeah.
Prince is like a New York street pizza, right? Like is that?
Yeah, they have that, and they have like the deep dish.
Oh,
like crispy edge. Yeah, it's really good.
The Chicago style stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to Jackson Joe's? Do you ever get the breakfast there?
Yeah, that's really good too.
That's pretty legit. Yeah.
It is really good. Yeah. I actually just went there 2 weekends ago, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
Nice. We had one from Gate Call. How do you mentally prepare for a pass play compared to a run play?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Wow, I never even thought of that.
Okay.
I think like run game, just like get off the ball as fast and as hard as you can, get your hands inside, and then pass pro, just like get to your spot, get your hands on them as fast as you can to get a good punch. I guess it's not really mentally different, but it's like thinking about like what I need to do differently.
Is there? It's funny. I remember talking to, unfortunately, rest in peace, Kevin Ellison, former USC safety. But I remember talking to him about sort of diagnosing if a play was going to be a run or a pass, and sometimes he would watch like an offensive lineman's knuckles. You know, so if you were pressing and it was kind of, so it would be bright, like you're probably run blocking. You're going to be pushing forward, and if it was more light, like you're going to back up. Are there little tells like that, or do you kind of like, I can't like show that I'm going to run block or pass block?
Yeah, I try to as much as possible not show it, but there's definitely times I'm like definitely down to my stance, like putting more weight on this foot and like trying to really get off the ball, because it's hard not to, because like if you're up here pass run and you try to run left or right, it's definitely a lot harder. So there definitely is little keys like that, but I try to minimize those as much as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to give a tell away, you know, like
exactly. Yeah.
The California Kid wants to know, the starting offensive line hasn't played that much together due to guys being added from the transfer portal and graduation from a year ago. How has that impacted performance, so many guys not having a lot of experience together?
Well, even though we don't have a lot of experience like playing together, all these guys have a lot of experience playing at this level. So, I mean, even Emmanuel coming from Wyoming has a lot of experience being a younger guy. And then Michael coming in, and then even Mace has a lot of experience. So, I mean, you have to have like the trust part there, which we're still trying to get better at, and the communication get better at. So I think we're still getting better as the weeks go on.
We have one from Cilantro. How much did the opportunity to get game tape with a future NFL quarterback impact your decision to come to USC, meaning Caleb Williams?
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I came here. I think like having so many eyes on Caleb will eventually put more eyes on the offensive line. It definitely played a big part in choosing this school.
Another one from Cilantro, and this might not apply to you, but he or she, I think it's a he, wants to know, how many visits did you make to the Applebees on the Idaho-Washington border for the $8.99 all-you-can-eat rib nights? I bet more than once, since Pullman is so close to Idaho up there. Did you do that at all? And if not, we can move on.
I definitely went to Applebees a few times. Yeah, I actually went there for my 21st birthday. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, which is kind of funny. Yeah, they used to have some good food deals. That's for sure. And it was right on the border, so it was like a 10-minute drive.
You're right. Is it in Moscow? Is it in Moscow? Is that where?
Yeah,
Were
yeah,
you? Do you ever go to the Coug? You don't have to
yeah,
Yeah, that was.
yeah.
Do you like have your
Sometimes,
name carved somewhere or whatever?
yeah. No.
That was a good. Like, if you don't know, like, if you've not been up to the Palouse for a Washington State game, that's like one of the
Yeah,
local college bars. It's like a lot of character in that place.
that's very true.
Nice. Okay, I think it's me. Sorry, we'll do this one. So we had 2 cilantros. Okay, we had a couple more. Eagles fan 51227. Do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking, and why?
I think at tackle, I prefer run blocking because pass blocking at tackle is definitely more difficult than at guard. There's just
Yeah.
so much more room and so much more space. Um, I wouldn't say run blocking is easier, but it's definitely not as demanding as playing guard.
Last one from Two Run Jackson here. How do practice and game preparation compare to what you with USC compared to what you did at Washington State?
I think it's pretty similar. I think the intensity this far into seasons definitely higher than at WSU. We started kind of backing off, which I think kind of hindered our performance later in the season. But I think here I think we're practicing with more intensity than we did week 2 and 3. So it definitely helps playing in games.
All right. Jarrett Kingston, follow him on Twitter, but he's not going to tweet much during the season, like he said. J Kingston 52. Do you do Instagram more? You on that much, or you mostly Twitter when you do it?
Not
much.
not really. I try not to get on social media as much as possible in season. So.
All right. Well, hopefully get you out in the links again. Earlier on, like I went out. It was Athletic Brewing, right? You guys, they sponsor the offensive line. They did an event over at Top Golf, which is just up the street from me. I stopped by. We hit a few balls, and Jarrett can swing the club, which was good to see. Gino Quinones did it with the one leg.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. But that was fun. Hopefully, you guys had a good time with that one. That was a good time.
Yeah,
too.
that was fun.
Yeah, hopefully you get out on the golf course more. All right, Jarrett Kingston, we wish you the best of luck this weekend. Obviously, tough game against Washington, so I hope you guys do very well. And thank you very much for coming on and joining us.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, too.
All right, Jarrett Kingston, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you next time.